Hey everybody, it's me. Anyways, A to Z. We're on the letter C this week, late as usual, because there's no peace at my house. I have to go to the cemetery, the city cemetery, to get peace. I'm just getting off of work and in time to make this video, my contribution. And I'm going to talk about a 1959 film starring Orson Welles in the film and Dean Stockwell. It's called Compulsion. And I bought this. Excuse me, I don't have the DVD with me. But I bought the DVD a couple of weeks back, about a month ago. It was Kino Lorber had a flash sale where they have very so often, where you can buy DVDs and Blu-rays, half price. And so I was looking through their list, and I just really wanted to get one movie, and I was looking for Peter Sellers. But the first thing that popped up was that Orson Welles movie, Compulsion, which I had never seen before. So I looked it up immediately on Wikipedia and IMDb, to find out about this movie. And so I went ahead and made the purchase. I guess a blind buy, except, I did research it a little bit before I bought it, but Orson Welles is in it, so it was good enough for me. Look at this. So unprofessional of me, and my finger. Trying to keep this as unprofessional as possible. And I had to write notes, because I can't remember crap. So please bear with me. But, excuse me, the Compulsion came out in 1959, like I said, and it stars Orson Welles. He's got top billing. I guess because he was the most well-known name at the time in the casting, but he's not through the movie. He's not really the star of the film. Two young men at the time, Dean Stockwell, a very young Dean Stockwell, and Bradford Dillman, are the two main characters in the film. And you also have Diane Varsi, which I'm not too familiar with. Maybe Mike knows her. And also in the film is Martin Milner. And I know Martin Milner from, for us old folks, a show called Adam 12. Back in the late 60s or early 70s. It used to come on TV. My father would watch it, and that's how I remember him. He's in there. Richard Anderson, if you're not familiar with him, he used to play on the $6 Million Man. He was, what was his name? Mr. Goldman, I think was his name, Mr. Goldman. Anyways, he was the head guy. He was over Lee Majors. He was the secret guy. Anyways, and E.G. Marshall, he plays the district attorney in the film, is also in this film. An outstanding cast. Surprised I never heard of this movie before. When you think about Orson Welles, you think of, obviously Citizen Kane or The Magnificent Ambersons or The Lady from Shanghai or Touch of Evil. And he's one of my favorite people. I remember growing up watching him on these daytime talk shows. He would always pop up on these shows like Dinah Shore and Mike Douglas and Merv Griffin shows, all these daytime talk shows they used to have. But I loved his voice and I liked his personality on the show when I was growing up. I said, oh, this is a nice guy. And then I would hear him voice over in some cartoons. Excuse me. I'm back in the day. But anyways, so the movie is basically a fictionalization of the Leopold Loeb case. And just making sure here I got this right, the murders. And if you're not familiar with those murders, there were two guys who went to college, University of Chicago. They were lawyers, or they're training to be lawyers, attorneys, going to school to be attorneys. And they, because of their wealth and their so-called brightness or smartness, that they think they can pull off the perfect crime, so they killed a young boy and thought they can get away with it, and they didn't. The movie was made, the most famous movie that was made about this case, which was a fictionalization, and just like this one was Compulsion, was Rope. Alfred Hitchcock's Rope in 1949, where the two guys bump off somebody that they knew and hit him in the chest, in the chest, and then the room in their apartment. So that was the most famous part of that famous movie of that, and this was the second making of it. There was another one later on made, which I didn't write the name down for it. So this is what basically these two guys, Dean Stockwell, who plays Judd in the movie, and Bradford Dillman plays Artie. Artie is the one who's kind of like the alpha male of them. Of the two, Judd is a worrier, we're kind of afraid. Judd kind of eggs him on to make these, to do this. You never see the crime committed, but you know it has been done, and then it's basically them trying to cover up their tracks and see how they got away with the murder. And then they get tripped up because somebody left their glasses at the crime scene. Hence, if you see the movie poster, you'll see a pair of glasses on the big giant pair of glasses on the poster. And that's one of the hints of the movie that was left with the body, and that's how they were able to track them down. I found it to be a very engaging movie. It was beautifully shot in black and white, and it's in widescreen. And I was going to say, they were young actors in the movie. Like I said, Dean Stockwell was really young, and Dillman was young. The only older one film actors in the movie was E.G. Marshall, and Orson Welles had experience. And Orson Welles played the attorney that represents the two boys, and he's against the death penalty, and he's trying to prevent them from getting the death penalty. His character is based off of Clarence Darrow, who was the original attorney for Leopold and Loeb back in the 20s. And I don't know. I'm surprised nobody talks about this movie as much. But that was really good. It was really engaging. I stayed awake during the whole movie. That's a sign. It was a good movie that I stayed awake during the film. It was directed by Richard Fleischer. When I looked him up, he had done The Narrow Margin. He directed The Narrow Margin, Soylent Green, which I just watched last year. The Fantastic Voyage from 1966. And he did another serial killer, The Boston Strangler, a movie with Tony Curtis. He directed that film. Also in this movie is Gavin MacLeod, who also played on The Love Boat, the captain on The Love Boat, and played on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. But, yeah, if you want to pick it up, Kino has it on Blu-ray. That was my choice to buy. It was on Blu-ray, and it looked beautiful. The picture quality was great. It's widescreen, anamorphic widescreen. What else can I say? That you know, if you're interested in crime movies, and this is, like I said, a fictionalized account of these two boys murdering, or two men murdering a young boy, and thinking they can get away with it, and well, they don't. I mean, everybody knows the story of what happens. But it's impelling, and like I said, Orson Welles' performance in it is great. Probably not his best role, but he plays a convincing role. I also read during the filming of this, he would throw temper tantrums because he had a lot of issues. I've read this before in other films where he's not actually directing the film. He would throw temper tantrums because he wanted things a certain way, and he wasn't getting it because he wasn't the director. So it caused some issues with the production. But yeah, I would say pick it up. Kino, it's well worth it. Get it on Blu-ray. It looks beautiful. It looks like a brand new film, just done in black and white. And if you're interested, Dean Stockwell, young Dean Stockwell, I think it would be a great pickup. As I said again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the comments from the past. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Peace out.